Everyday people in everyday places across the world are finding God. All of this has been made through him. He has promised to be with us. Where are you seeing him? Let's get sharing. Encounters. Stories of encounter with God.
Here's a question to start with. Does light decay? No, it doesn't. It's been a long time since I studied physics and engineering, so I did Google it just to check, but no, light doesn't decay. And I'll come back to the relevance of that later. It's been raining today, the first time for several weeks, and I spent a bit of time watching while raindrops fell onto pools of water that accumulate on our flat roof at the back. And I love seeing raindrops fall onto water and the way it creates ripples of water spreading out from multiple sources at different times. We live in momentous times with a pandemic raging around us and circumstances the like of which most of us have not experienced in our lifetimes. And I'm struck sometimes during a time like this by how small my life seems to be. I work in healthcare, a doctor in a hospice, so I usually feel that what I do and how I live is making a difference beyond my immediate family and very small circle of friends. But I came home from work a couple of days ago feeling tired and despondent, wondering whether I'm making any difference at all. I went out and sat in the sunshine in our back garden to unwind and to pray, and I found myself pouring my heart out to God and questioning, as I sometimes do, if I'm in the right place, if I'm making any difference at all for the kingdom, and whether the difference I make to those around me will have any lasting impact and value. And as I did that, I had a picture which I believe was from the Lord. I saw a scene of multiple circles of ripple spreading out, but instead of the crest of wavelets on water, the ripples were enlarging rings of light, lots of them, appearing in different places at different times, creating a beautiful changing mosaic of spreading circles of light. As I reflected on this, here are some things that came to my mind. Most of us don't get to do great things in life. Instead, our lives are full of small things. But we can do small things greatly and with great love. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus says that we are the light of the world. We aren't to be hidden under a basket, but set on a lampstand for others to see so that we can shine. Every time we obey the Lord, even in the smallest things, every time we deny self and put others first, every time that we indulge in an act of kindness, it initiates a ripple of light. And here's the thing, that light never decays. It goes on spreading. When in the beginning God said, "Let there be light," that creative power continues to spread at the speed of light across the vastness of space to this day. And when we look at the sum of our lives, the sum of all those small things, we similarly see a huge sphere of accumulated light that continues to spread across the spiritual universe. There are no small lives in the kingdom of God. What we do and who we are has immeasurable impact around us, both now and also into the future. We are creating a spiritual inheritance for our children and generations to follow. As an example of this, many times in the Old Testament, we see God declaring blessing or mercy over people for the sake of my servant David. David's righteous acts, and he certainly wasn't perfect, laid down a spiritual heritage for many generations to come. Some say that darkness is increasing upon the earth as we move towards the culmination of these end times. Some will point to the pandemic as yet more evidence of the fact, but I don't buy into that at all. We've recently remembered the darkest day in history, when Jesus hung on a cross. But we're now on the other side of that. And I believe that Isaiah's declaration in chapter 60 has already been fulfilled in the resurrection. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord shines upon you. See, darkness covers the earth, and thick darkness is over the peoples, but the Lord rises upon you, and his glory appears over you. Nations will come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your dawn. Ever increasing circles of light to which each of us adds our bit. There are no small lives in the kingdom, and our light will shine forever. Daniel chapter 12 verse 3, it says this: those who are wise, and the wise are those who hitch their light to the light of the world, Jesus. Those who are wise will shine like the brightness of the heavens, and those who lead many to righteousness by the witness of their light, like the stars forever and ever. That's fantastic, isn't it?